Hello, my name is Sophie Anderson, and today I will be solving a 5-step equation and answering some questions you might have about algebra. So, the first question is going to be, what is an unknown? An unknown is an unknown number represented by a letter, which is also known as a variable. So, an example would be like x, because we don't know what it represents. Well, it represents a number, but we don't know what number it represents yet. So now we're going to move on to what is the language of algebra. The language of algebra is math that uses unknowns or variables in everyday world or the real world to solve problems. So I have one more question, but we'll get to that while we're doing the problem. So here's our problem. And the first thing we're going to start with is distributive property. So over here, you're going to multiply. So it's going to be 4 over 1 multiplied by 1 over 3. And that is going to come out to 4 over 3. So you're just going to bring that down. 4 over 3 x plus, and then 4 times 8 is 32. And then I'm going to bring down my parentheses and bring down the equal sign. And over here, we didn't do anything with distributive property, so we're just going to bring these numbers down. Now, what we're going to do is it's going to make it easier on us to just make all of the fractions constants. It's going to make it easier to for the rest of the problem. So we got to find something in common in the denominators with 3 and 2. So something that would be good is probably 6, I'd say, is like a good, that would be a good thing. So now we're going to multiply by 6 on this side. And whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. And the reason that is because we want to keep the equation balanced on both sides. So we're going to multiply by 6 on this side. So it's going to be 6 over 1 multiplied by 4 over 3. And that's going to be 24 over 3, which is 8. So you're going to bring down your 8x plus 32 times 6, which is 192. So we have that on this side. I'm going to bring down the equals sign. And then on this side, you're just going to do the exact same thing. So you'll have 12 over 3, which is 4. Take away, and then 6 over 1 times 1/2 is going to be 6 over 2, or 3. So you'll bring down your 3. So now that we have all that, we are going to combine like terms. So now when we're combining like terms, that means that we're going to put the variables together and we're going to put the constants together because those are like terms. So to bring 4 over to this side, 4x, what we're going to do is we have to take it away from this side. And the reason I'm taking away instead of adding is because this is a positive 4x, so we have to take it away in order to get 0 on this side so that we can move it to the other side. So now that we have that, we can take it away from this side because we took it away from that side. So that will leave you with 4x. And then we're just going to do the same thing with the constants. So I'm going to move 192 to the side with negative 3. So this is a positive 192. So we're going to take away 192 to get 0 on this side. Then you just take away 192 from this side. And that is going to leave you with negative 195. So what you're left with now is 4x equals negative 195. Now what we want to do is we want to get the variable, we want to get it alone. So in order to do that, we have to somehow get rid of the 4. So how we're going to do that to get just x alone is to divide by 4. So that would be 0, so you just be left with x now. So whatever you do to one side, do to the other side. So we're going to divide by 4 on this side. And here's when simplifying comes in. So this answer right here, x equals negative 195 divided by 4, it's pretty much the correct answer, but it's not in its simplest form. So I think that oversimplifying isn't really possible in algebra unless they tell you, don't put it in its simplest form or whatever, but I don't think that they will. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring 195 divided by 4, and one thing that might help you is this triangle that I have. So it's addition on the top and 2 negatives on the bottom. So this will help you figure out what sign you'll have at the end. Will your answer be positive? Will it be negative? So you figure out what signs you have. We have negative and we have positive. So now you're just going to cross out a negative and a positive because that's what we have, and whatever you're left with, that will be, so our answer will be negative. So I'm going to put negative, and now you just do the math. So 4 goes into 19 4 times, that's 16, and then that's 3, and you bring down the 5, and that would be 8, 32. You'd be left with 3. You gotta annex a 0. So 4 goes into 37 times. That would be 28. You'd be left with 2. And you're gonna put one more 0. And 4 goes into 25 times. So 20. 0, and now what we have left is negative 48.75. So that is how it is. It's going to be x equals negative 48.75. This is the answer. I would like to thank you for your time.